Wonderful. Fabulous. So, good afternoon, Monday afternoon. What an exciting interview we have this afternoon. We have the wonderful Justine Hales this afternoon. So, good afternoon, Justine.
Good afternoon, Nick. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. So, Monday afternoon, this is the time when we get to know the Zoco members a bit better. It started out as a frequently asked questions section. But it's turned into just a general chat. We kind of, people who've watched it, we start with a general question, we end with a certain question. So Justine has watched them, so she knows the format, so I can't surprise her there. But Justine, it's an absolute pleasure to have you this afternoon. I don't see why you shouldn't be put under the spotlight like all the other Zoco members, just because we're a thing. Anyway, so first of all, please tell us about your networking. Tell us about your networking journey. Why networking? What did you get out of networking?
Well, I absolutely love networking, and I've been networking on and off now for probably about 6 or 7 years, 7 years, I would say. I started networking when I was the owner manager of Curves Fitness for Women in Hampton. So my very first experience with networking was while I was promoting there. So it was always very, very local networking as well. I joined Inspired Women straight away, which is a local women's only group in Hampton, and then joined a couple of other face-to-face networking groups in the area, and then just sort of dipped in and out here and there as a visitor, as a guest, as a sub, and that kind of thing. But I really, really enjoyed it, and then kind of fell out of it a little bit. Sold Curves, changed jobs, all sorts of things that I'm sure we're going to talk about. And then when the pandemic happened, I guess best part of 2 years ago now, one of the ways that I coped with the first lockdown was to throw myself into more networking. And of course, everything went online. So I spent loads of time online networking. And again, then just sort of dipping in and out of lots of different places until I found my home here at Zoco.
Good to hear. But I mean, in the meantime, you did your year or so at BNI, didn't you? You were. What was the product that you were promoting when you were at BNI?
So when I was a member of BNI, I was a member of BNI in Caterham. And at that stage, I only had one part of my sort of 3-part business now, and that was brand ambassador for Canaway, which I still am. So the seat that I held there at that BNI chapter was wellness products. So I was there promoting Canaway products, high quality CBD and hemp-based lifestyle products.
Okay, and you had in-person meetings in Caterham, and that's where you got to meet a couple of the Zoco members, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's where Vidya and I met for the first time. Patricia and I met for the first time at that time, not through BNI. That was actually through Ladies Who Latte, but that was that sort of period of time. So yeah, been getting around the networking circuit over the last few years.
And what has networking done for you as a business person, do you think?
Well, it highly developed me personally as a business person, and particularly in the last few years. I think I'll probably do a whole bunch of shout outs actually now. Is when I was at the owner manager of Curves, it really only benefited me for the business side of things to be very, very local, because Curves is a gym, and the members didn't travel more than about 1.5 miles to 2 miles. So I was very much business focused, and I did learn about collaboration while I was there, and I did learn some personal development stuff while I was there, but mostly I was networking for the purpose of, yes, connecting people, but really promoting Curves to grow the business. It wasn't until I sold Curves and then networking became a lot more about personal development as well. So Nina Colvin, who's a networking colleague and friend, and also, with Zoco meetings. She is a mindfulness coach, for those who don't know Nina. And throughout, we also met at Inspired Women, first of all, and she was a CURS member. And for many, many years, she was talking to me about mindfulness and introducing the idea of mindfulness to me and saying, oh, come to an introduction to mindfulness and let me show you mindfulness and meditation, this, that, and the other. And I was like, Nina, no, like, I'm too busy for that. And it's my busy and And it wasn't until I then sold Curbs that she happened to ask me again at just the right time. And I thought, okay, timing is key. And I said, yes. And I went to an introduction to mindfulness class at Nina's house. There were 3 other ladies there, one who I knew, 2 I didn't. And absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it really was just all about the timing. So at that stage, I then said to Nina, okay, yeah, I'd like to do a one-to-one course with you. Of course, in true Justine busy style at that time, it had to be on my own terms. And, the course is normally 6 to 8 weeks. And I said, no, it has to be done in 4. And, and Nina, bless her, she accommodated me and everything. And that really, really absolutely kickstarted my journey with my personal development and my development with my businesses, and just kind of started unfolding everything. And to circle back to your question about how networking has done my personal development, meeting all of the people that I've met through Zoco, through, other networks that I've been in and that I still am in with, Inspired Women, I'm still a member, and dip in and out of others. There are so many people whose services I use, and so many more people who I now know on such a more personal level for that know, like, and trust, that, I really do have all of that complete faith that if a friend outside of the network asked for advice on something or asked for a connection somewhere, I know who to point people to. And I really, really understand much more the value in the collaboration of networking now.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, 2 things. First of all, I'm coming to you from a garden room which is a stone's throw from Curves. I could probably throw a stone. Curves is literally just over the road, which is quite weird. And it does totally lead me neatly onto a question which you didn't realise was going to come, about your spiritual journey. I mean, we met 5-6 years ago, and I remember thinking, I just assumed that you were very spiritual. You had a spiritual energy about you, okay? In some ways, I couldn't be further from the truth. But now your 3 strands of your business, I noticed your workshops, 2 of them are very spiritual in particular, okay? So to explain to me a bit more about your spiritual journey, and not how it came about, but kind of what it means to you.
Well, yeah, on some levels, I'm sure you're absolutely right. I probably have always, I will have always been spiritual in some way or another. But as Jen Thomas, who's one of my spiritual coaches, says, I was mostly in my spiritual closet at that time, because, I lived with the, with the feelings of, you have to be busy, you have to be doing this, that, and the other, you have to all the time, and so, yeah, so it was always just kind of not there at the surface, I suppose. But, and the same could be said about you, the fact that you didn't realize that you were spiritual at the time. You sensed I was spiritual, but you didn't know what that meant yet either. Probably. No. So yeah, we're on the spiritual journey together.
Definitely, absolutely. vibing together, absolutely. So to talk to
Evigia, you're watching, you'll know what that means.
Who's that for?
Evigia's watching, she'll know.
She's good.
Anyway, so I haven't answered your question yet. I think, I'd always heard about Reiki. Reiki was something I heard about, in various places, and particularly when I started networking, I would meet people who talked about it, did it, whatever. And every time I heard the word Reiki, like, there was just this sense inside me that I knew at some point I was going to be doing a Reiki workshop. And for some reason, I had no interest in finding a Reiki practitioner or, Reiki healer or whatever, and having a treatment or a session or anything done on me. I just knew, without even trying it or knowing what it was all about, that at some point I was going to go to a workshop and learn it. And in various different networking meetings, I would meet somebody who would talk about doing a weekend retreat or, a course or something. And I'd write it down in my notes and I'd go and talk to that person in the open networking at the end. And it was either the date wasn't quite right, or the price didn't quite sit with me, or when I was talking to that person one-to-one, didn't quite vibe or something. There was always some reason where I kind of thought I'll do it, and then I was held back from it. And then it wasn't until I'd sold curves, temporarily moved out of the area, and I was at a networking meeting, brand new meeting I'd never been to before, and I sat next to somebody who in her pitch then talked about doing Reiki 1. This is Sue Toomey. And on the iPhone, when you look at your calendar, and if there's something in the calendar, there's a dot, right? Before you actually open it up, there's a dot. So she said that her workshop was going to be at a date in September. And I opened up my phone, and it was the only day in the entire calendar that didn't have a dot on it. And, the location was right. The price was right. I felt like I vibed with her, and the date was right. Everything. I was like, right, book me in. And then that was it. That was Reiki 1. And, so I had just done the mindfulness course with Nina 2 months before that. Then I found myself on the Reiki 1 course, and then everything just started changing. I just started seeing the world and seeing people and feeling energies just so different, and better and more, and just everything good, and then I wasn't planning on doing Reiki 2. But then I met my friend Justine. So I'm just name dropping and shouting out to all of the wonderful people in my life at the moment. I met my friend Justine, and there was just something about the conversation we had that within a day I was booked on to Reiki 2. And then 2 months later, the world changed. And it wasn't just me who'd changed, everyone changed, because then it was March 2020. And having Reiki 2 and the ability to do distance healing and, Reiki on myself was, probably one of the other things that helped me to cope through that lockdown period. So yeah, it's just all kind of spiraled from there.
Good. Now let's talk about your business. Let's talk about the 3 strands of your business. Okay, you touched upon one, which is the CBD and hemp lifestyle products. Okay, which you can away. You want to talk about that a bit more, you can, that's fine. Let's talk a bit more about the other one. Let's talk about the online fitness first of all. So tell us a bit more, tell us a bit about that and how people can get involved.
Great. Okay. So, so the business is now Body Confidence Wellness, which is an umbrella. So we've got Body Confidence Coaching, Body Confidence Fitness, and Body Confidence Products. So as you said, we've already talked about Canaway, which sits in Body Confidence Products. So then you've got Body Confidence Fitness and Body Confidence Coaching. The fitness side of things is ladies only on Zoom. There's currently 10 sessions a week to choose from. Basically all abilities, equipment not required. So, there's classes like legs, bums, and tums, for example, and full body strength and tone, where if somebody wants to push themselves a little bit harder, they can use weights, they can use bands, and I will kind of mention when to do that. But generally speaking, it's, body weight, no equipment. And because I get to know my ladies quite well, I know where people's physical limitations might be and can adapt classes and things like that. So obviously the goal is to grow the classes, but also the benefit right now of the classes being quite small is I do have that ability of tailoring the classes and
Well,
things like that.
I mean, I've obviously seen the classes. I've seen side-on view of the classes. I've heard them. They sound amazing. Um, so the women are all on Zoom, all online, and I've done some Pilates with Alison. So again, it's great because you don't see anybody else, and so women, you know, I think women are nervous that other people will see what I look like, blah blah, see how bad I am, but it's not like that. I remember when I did my Pilates, I made the Pilates teacher big screen, and that was it. That's all I could see. Okay, and it was perfect. And so the same with you. So you have, and it's not all high impact cardio stuff, is it?
No, I've got 2 cardio classes. So Monday morning, there's a 30-minute class from 9:30 to 10. And Wednesday morning, there's a 45-minute boxercise. It's boxercise. It's like cardio boxercise. It's boxing inspired HIIT class, basically. And that's 45 minutes from 9:30 to 10:15 at the moment. So, you know, those are the 2 that are the most cardio. And when the ladies are on a direct debit option, because there's a few different payment options, when they're on direct debit options as a thank you for being on direct debit, there is access to some pre-recorded videos on Vimeo, of which there are some other cardio options there. So, you know, if somebody, if those 2 cardio classes don't work for their schedule, but you want to do, say, some of the strength training classes with me at lunchtime, then, you know, you can, you know, squeeze in a cardio class. And something that a few people have said to me is, you know, like when you ask, you know, why should I do your videos when I could just go onto YouTube for free or something? And yeah, go onto YouTube for free. That's fine. But B, like some of the ladies like using my videos once they've already gotten to know me. And it's like you said, you know, during the live classes, everybody's encouraged to put your Zoom onto speaker view. So in a lot of ways, it feels like a one-to-one with me anyway. And in some ways, it feels like, in a lot of ways, it feels like a video, except it is a live class. So if I saw that somebody was doing something incorrectly, you know, I could, you know, point that out. In fact, there was a class today where I said, oh, you know, raise your head, you know, you need to keep your neck in alignment and things like that. So, so yeah, so that's the benefit of it being a live class, but also the benefit of doing one of my pre-recorded, if you already know me, is that it still kind of feels like you're in the live class.
Well, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I'm pretty keen on you. Obviously, that's beyond that, no doubt there. But it's your energy, it's your enthusiasm. I mean, you sound amazing. I tell you, I love listening to your classes. And as I said, there's no locker key, no locker padlocks needed, no parking. You can shower when you like. You can wear kind of what you like. I mean, I really don't understand. And of course, because your classes are fixed in time, people have to show up, and it's in their diary. So no, I think your classes are great, and I want more and more women to sign up. So that's one aspect. We cover the 2 aspects of your business. So the third one, the newest one, most exciting one in some respects. So tell us about the Institute of Body Confidence, and tell us about your coaching.
So yeah, so I'm a my official title of the certificate says Body Confidence and Wellbeing Coach. And that was a course that I did with the Institute of Body Confidence Coaching, run by Astrid Longhurst. So I came across Astrid again during lockdown, again, like due to all of the networking. So at the start of, you know, March 2020, when I threw myself into networking to cope with the situation we were all in, at that time I was there promoting CBD all the time, and I was asking people for one-to-ones to talk about CBD, to talk about, you know, retailing the products, or to join the business, because, you know, it is a network marketing business. So I was speaking to a lot of people in the therapeutic world and in the coaching world, and just everybody like in wellness and well-being. And I just kept on finding myself sponging off of what everybody else was saying, kind of thing. And then I was introduced to the Institute of Body Confidence Coaching by somebody who does it as well, down south, on the South Coast somewhere. And researched the course, absolutely loved the look of it. So got in touch with Astrid, had a conversation, and joined onto the course. Now, at that stage, it's a huge leap of faith, joining a course like that, because financially it's a big investment to go on a course, especially when you're in the middle of a pandemic with almost little to no income. But I did it and absolutely loved it. And one of the things that was just so perfect for me in terms of divine timing and stuff, as you said, I was opening up spiritually and opening up to this connection with myself and my heart and my body. And when you're on a course with the Institute of Body Confidence Coaching, you have to put yourself through the paces. You have to do all of the activities yourself. You have to be coached yourself through it. And the program works on 4 main pillars, which are the 4 main pillars of my business now, which is the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the soul or spiritual body. And with my fitness background and with the classes that I had already put into place, I feel that I very much have the physical body side of things kind of taken care of. But the course then really helped me to connect the physical body with all of the other stuff, the mental, emotional, and soul. And then, of course, because I was opening up spiritually and the Reiki and everything like that, the soul body was really, coming into play there too. So I'm just really excited that I'm able to offer these workshops, these courses, one-to-one coaching, to help people connect their physical body with the other 3 pillars in the same way that I did.
Excellent. So tell us more about the 3 taster workshop coming out, and then that will lead neatly on to your prize, your competition at the moment. I mean, remind me, we have to try and we must tag all the people you mentioned in the chat below, so their name comes up and they get to see it. So Julene and Nina and Vidya and Sutumi, whatever, we do all that. But anyway, so tell us about the 3 workshops.
Okay, so the workshops that I've put together have been taken from lots of bits and pieces. So my very first workshop that I put together is called The Language of Self-Care and Body Confidence. So this workshop has been put together again from little bits and pieces of other workshops that I've been to. So I'll do another little plug and shout out here. Cheryl Edwards played a really big part in the formation of my first workshop, because it was a workshop that I went to of hers that kind of inspired a piece of that workshop. And this one is all about affirmations and, really connecting to our bodies through words. The second one is called Clearing Your Own Energy Blocks. So this one is very much about the chakras and color. And, again, some more shout outs has been inspired by not only my course, but from, Fiona and Anita and Amanda and Natasha, so there's lots of influences on me. And again, where I find things to be, incredibly important to be collaborative and to shout out the people who have taught me and inspired me. We're all doing that with each other all the time. And the newest one is not exactly a workshop. It's a journey. It's a journey called it's a guided visualization and Reiki healing session. And I'm just so excited to be delivering this. I've done a couple of practice sessions so far. I have a couple more practice sessions coming up soon with the Soulpreneurs Club. And it's just going to be a really beautiful journey where people can relax and accept some Reiki healing and in a safe environment of your own home. And it's just a beautiful thing that I'm really, really excited to share.
Excellent. So that leads neatly onto the competition. So tell us about the competition you're running at the moment.
Well, It's a cross-platform promotion, which I launched yesterday. It's a 6-day competition. So there are 3 prizes, which all kind of match the 3 pieces of the business. So prize A is a free place on any of the workshops I just mentioned. Prize B is a free week of classes with me. And prize C is a jar of Canaway CBD salve, which would have been handy to be here in front of me, but it isn't. So I'll post a picture down below. But there's a lot of people in the group who've tried salve. So if anybody is watching this on replay, please feel free to put your testimonials in about how wonderful it is. So those are the 3 prizes, and all you have to do to enter into the prize competition is find the post on one of these 3 platforms, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Comment below the picture with your preferred prize and tag a person. And every single tag is a prize entry, and there's no limit. So as many entries as anybody wants, and there'll be a spinny wheel done on Sunday. Who doesn't love a spinny wheel?
Love a spinny wheel. Just good. Well, that's excellent. That's your competition. So that's amazing. So, well, I think we've covered everything about you and your journey and your business. It's just fabulous. And we'll make sure you put all the links below, okay, and tag people, all the people. Try and make a mental note of the people you tagged, so you know what my final question is going to be because you watch these videos. So, is there something about you that people might not know or might surprise them about you?
Because I knew you were going to be asking that question, I probably should have come prepared, and I have not come prepared. But the first thing that pops into my mind is I make the best matzo ball soup I've ever tasted.
Agreed. And you have 2 passports. Oh yeah, okay. I was going to ask you about that actually. That was my list of questions before we wrap up. So you're an American. And so how long have you been in this country? Where were you born and how long have you been in this country?
I have been here for 21 years, if you can believe it. But my father was English, and I had spent summers and Christmases over here growing up as a child and as a teenager. And I went to an American university. So there's Richmond, the American International University in London. There's a campus in Richmond, and there used to be a campus in Kensington as well. So I spent 1999 and 2000 as a student. No, 2000 to 2022. I got here August 2000. So 2000, 2001, 2002 as a student, and then just stayed because I was very lucky in that my dad was able to get me a passport.
And one thing before we go, you mentioned your parents.
What about my parents?
I believe they're both doctors.
As the daughter of 2 doctors, is that what you wanted me to say?
Well, yeah, so it ties in with your, with your business and stuff, doesn't it? It gives you credibility, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Oh, and my mom is in this group, so we can tag Barbara Hales as well. There's a little plug for Barbara Hales and her business. She's a copywriter, people. She's a copywriter. If anybody requires copywriting for the medical world, Barbara Hales is your lady.
And obviously the biggest influence probably in your life to date.
Yeah.
So where's home for you, do you think? Where's home? What would you consider to be home?
This is home.
This is home. Good, okay. Well, it's whizzed by. I knew it would do. Justine Hales, thank you so much. Okay, down to you to tag away like crazy. Put all your links below. I will be in the Facebook group for some time. Again, anybody that's used a salve would like to put any recommendation testimonials down below. That'd be great. Okay. So Justine Hales, thank you very much.
Thank you.